Hi there, Paul Henderson again, and welcome to Module 4 as we move on the subject of autoresponders. And in this module we'll be creating an opt-in box. Okay, so following on from where we were in the last module, let's just say that you've just logged into Aweber and you see in front of you your list stats. Okay, if we go up here to the Home tab and we click on Create and Manage Lists just here, and we'll click on the list that we just began setting up. If you've just done your first list, you'll only have one there, so it'll be very simple. For me, it was, which one? This one. So I'm going to click that. So you get taken to your basic settings page. What we then need to do is come up here to this blue tab where it says Web Forms, because Web Forms is another name for opt-in box. And we click it, and we get taken to this screen here. Your screen will look exactly like this, with no forms showing, and obviously this big green button showing in the middle where it says create a new form is what we need to do next. Okay, so we come to this form here, which can look a little bit complicated, but it's not. All we're being asked to do here, remember, is set up an opt-in form, and the very first part of it is to choose a template. I encourage you to choose a simpler rather than a more garish template. Whichever one you choose, you can then go on to choose a range of colors to suit your screen theme. So let's just choose that one in red, and let's just say, oh, no, what I'm going to do, I don't want that one because I want some, for mine, I want something that really stands out so that you can easily see it. So just bear with me, please, while I just choose one that's really sort of horrible and garish. Ah, look, that one's near enough. That'll do. So let's just choose that in something equally horrible, like purple, and we'll say load template. Okay, because I'm going to put this on my quit smoking site, which, as you can see, I've currently removed the existing opt-in box so that you'll be able to see quite clearly when the surfboard appears there. It'll stand out like the proverbial, won't it? So you'll know instantly that we've done that and that it's worked. That's why I've done that. But I do urge you to choose something a whole lot more modest than this. Okay, what we'll do, we've chosen our template. We'll now go on to looking at the form itself. You can see it's divided up into certain sections. Edit the header. We can put some stuff in there. We can say, enter your details below, and we can highlight it and change fonts, change sizes, change whether it appears in the middle, left or right. Okay, so I'm just going to align it centrally. Enter your details below. What are we going to put for instant access? And I know I've got my capital letters and stuff all mixed up, but that's okay. Save. Okay. You see here, if we don't want to ask for people's names, and actually the less information that you ask, the better your conversion rates will be generally. So in actual fact, why don't I just show you how to do it and say get rid of that. Okay, so now we're only asking for one piece of information. You can change that. It says submit. You can type in get instant access. See? Save. Where it says here in this field, we respect your email privacy, you should leave that. In fact, we don't get the option to edit there. I was going to just put something a little fuller, but we can't edit. We can only add save or remove, and we don't want to remove, so we'll just leave that alone. Here, resize. What does that mean, I wonder? Well, what it means is that you can have the whole thing wider or narrower. I think we'll just leave it at the size that they've set it at. Edit the footer. You might want to put something here. Discover how to do this immediately on clicking the button. We're just typing in anything there, and we'll again align it centrally. Okay. So what we need to do there is save our web form, click on the green button there, And you can see we're then going to have to go to step 2. So save. It says we've saved. Scroll back down and move on to step 2. Some basic settings. See, we moved on to step 2 here. That was 1, the design. Now we're on 2. Basic settings. It doesn't much matter what you call it. Quit smoking. This is not limited to like once in the whole Aweber site or something like that. This is just something that you can, because you might have more than one form, so that you can split test and see which form had the better conversion. So we could call it quit smoking form number 1, for example. We're not going to bother with the Facebook integration. Now here, do you remember earlier on when I said the thank you page was something that was sent out via Aweber? Well, this is where it's sent out from. This is the section. So you can choose a basic version, and you can preview that here. Remember that was the banner that we uploaded in the section 2 of the list building exercise. So it says here all the things that it needs to say, the basic stuff. You're almost done. Activate your subscription by clicking on the link below. And obviously in the real message the link will be below here somewhere. So you can either have that, and there's nothing wrong with that, that's fine. Or if you want, you can choose a custom page. And it gives you the opportunity to enter your URL here. Now we already have done a custom page, haven't we? So I'm going to enter my URL, make cash from your website.com/thank you. Now yours would be called your domain name and /thank you in exactly the same way. Open it in a new window, that's quite a good idea. The already subscribed page, if someone chooses to try and subscribe twice, well, we don't really need to go to any special effort for that, and we can just leave the basic version. Okay, there's nothing more to set out in this section, so we then click Save Web Form again. Thinks about it for a moment. Success, your web form has been saved, and now we can move along to step 3. This is the third and final stage, and we get 3 choices. I'll install it myself, I'll get someone else to do it, or Aweber can host my form. Well, we always choose I'll install it myself, and having done that we then get 2 options. A 1-line JavaScript snippet, which we don't want on this occasion. We'll click the raw HTML version, since it's an HTML website that we're actually constructing, don't forget. What we're going to be doing is clicking in this, then right click and copy the whole lot to your clipboard. What we're going to do then is open up Composer, and I'm going to open up the index.html file in that particular project folder. So I'll come up here and click Open. I keep it on my desktop, so I'll go through the exercise of finding it again. I've clicked Desktop. This is my website, so I'll double click that. I'm going to drag up the index file, click Open. Remember I showed you online that I'd removed the opt-in box. Well, not surprisingly, here it is with the opt-in box removed in my project folder. What we're going to do is make a mental note of the text that's near. Remember, we've done this before, but I know that sometimes it's really helpful if we go over the same things again. So enter your email for free access. Let's just remember your email. Okay, it doesn't say that anywhere else on there, so it makes it unique. We then, if you remember, we come down here and we click on the Source tab. Okay, here we are in the source code for that page. I'm going to click the cursor up there right at the top. I'm going to press Ctrl F to give me the finding mechanism. And look, there we have your email from the last time, but I'll type it in again for completeness. Your email, find next. It highlights it down here, but don't forget I need to click that. Okay, so what we need to do is just take a closer look at this and find where we need to put the actual opt-in box code. Okay, enter your enter your email for free access, and then the font is ended. Okay, so this is where it needs to be. So after, enter your email for free access, and before we take your privacy very seriously. Okay, so I've just opened the space up a bit there just to make it a little more easy to identify. What we'll just quickly do is go back, double check that we've got the code on our clipboard, position the cursor there in Composer, right click and paste, and not surprisingly we get all that code entered into the HTML source for our current web page. What we need to do now is immediately click Save. Not surprisingly, we get our surfboard there. Don't worry about those yellow marks, there's nothing to worry about there. We click Browse, which kind of simulates a web page, and hey presto, there, as garish as anything, is our purple surfboard opt-in form on our Quit Smoking website. Now of course this is only on the computer so far. We need to upload that page to our website, our domain, if we want it to look like that online. So why don't we do that right now? I've come into FileZilla. We're already in the right domain up here because of course that's what we typed in earlier on, remember? What we need to do now is make sure we're in the right section of our own computer here, in the right project folder. So I'm just going to go all over the place at first to make sure that any file changes have been refreshed before I click on that, and this is our index.html. So last amended just a few moments ago, as you can see, and I right click and upload, and it should say, do you wanna? Yes, of course we do. And the very final test, directory listing successful, is if we go online, and this is it. This is before I uploaded that new file. It's definitely at my domain name. There you go, makecashfromyourwebsite.com. So that was from like half an hour or so ago. If I just refresh this now, I should get the new form installed, and of course I have. Okay, now recall that I only installed this totally unsuitable opt-in form for demonstration purposes only, so that you could instantly see that it had appeared on my Quit Smoking site. Now of course we're not done yet. You must never install anything or make any changes without thoroughly testing it. So what we need to do is test this by subscribing to our own form. Now this video is already kind of getting quite lengthy, and I don't want to take your powers of concentration completely away, so I think I'll close this video here for now, and we'll test it in the next video. So the next video will be quite short, 5 or 6 minutes, something like that. But hey, these last two have been quite long, so you deserve a bit of a break. For the moment then, this is Paul Henderson signing out. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks very much, folks.